Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market trades for April the 21st, 2010. Now, getting started tonight, we're going to be looking at the foreign exchange market, specifically the US dollar, Japanese yen. We can see that the triple EMA crossover here actually took place about the beginning of March, the first part of March. We've extended from the 90 area all the way up to the 94, just above the 94.50 area. Very nice move there. Good call on Vantage Point. I was in this trade actually myself. It then turned on us with risk aversion and everything else that was happening. It then reversed lower. Now, the interesting thing, the one thing I like here is we're not getting the complete reversal signal. Even though we have these two candlesticks that have crashed lower based on risk, like I said, risk aversion and all these other things, the reality is this thing is still holding in a buy formation. So for tonight, we're going to be looking at our pivot support. Right now, we're going to identify that 92.78, 92.95, and 92.88 with a close of 93.22, which makes this an attractive trade. So what we're going to be doing is looking for a pullback towards this 92, anywhere between 92.95 and 92.78 to get into our entry point. We're then going to have our stop below this 90, just below this 92 area, about the 91.20 area actually, to get into this trade. We want to give this thing lots of room to develop. Now, your day traders, you're going to be looking at a minimum of a 60 pip stop. Your more position traders, they're going to be looking for 100 plus pips outside of that broker radar, excuse me, which is usually what I prefer to do. So again, those buy positions look good for tomorrow, but let's go in, let's have a look at the daily predicted high, predicted low, and make sure everything is lining up the way we want it to. Now, again, the US-Japan currency pair certainly has been a volatile one, but when it gets into a trending move, we get some real good moves. So 92.83, so the predicted low from Vantage Point for tomorrow is confirming that area. Then we have 93.47 as the high. So we're going to be looking for about a 70, 75, 80 pip move, potentially even higher. I think if this 92.83 area holds, the US-Japan could easily extend back up over that 94 area in the days ahead, excuse me. So that's our first position tonight. Now, before we leave this, I'm just going to put this on so everybody can see this. We're again going to quickly run through our crossovers and everything just to make sure everybody's on board here. Now, looking at the US Japan and the crossovers, we're going to hit the short-term crossover here from Vantage Point. We can see that the short-term crossover is just taking place right now. It's a fresh cross on the short term. That's what we like to see. So we're hoping that this pullback is going to be very, very shallow. Now, looking at the medium-term crossover, we don't have that crossover yet. Now, the long-term crossover, we're going to see how things look there. We're not yet there on the medium and the long term, but the short-term crossover looks good. Now, the predicted TSI, we're going to apply that here also and see how that looks. Predicted TSI is still moving lower, but again, I think that we're going to see that move come out of there and it's going to extend higher. Now, again, the predicted MACD, what are we looking at with that? The predicted MACD also crossing over to the downside, however, still clearly above that zero line. So again, we're going to be looking for this to reverse in the days ahead. Now, adding a custom indicator on here using the long-term crossover, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put in the Vantage Point predicted highs and predicted lows so we can review it and see what it's been doing over the last little while. Now, hitting the predicted highs and predicted lows from Vantage Point, this is what we're looking at for tomorrow. Now, we can see that these predicted highs and predicted lows, the market has stayed contained in this area for some time. On the breakout down below right here, we broke through that predicted moving average from Vantage Point, the predicted low. The next day it hit the bottom of the predicted low and then extended higher. Now, what I want to draw everybody's attention to here is that the predicted high today was broken. We can see that hasn't happened in any of this area along here on Vantage Point's predicted high except for this one candlestick right here. So looking at that one candlestick, that significant candlestick right above this 93 mark that's broken through, we're going to be looking for a shallow pullback and then an extension higher. We can see that the black line here from Vantage Point also sitting at about that 92.80 area, and that's where we want to look to get into this buy position. Now again, this is somewhat counter trend. Not all of our indicators are supporting this, but I believe based on what I've just run through here that this is going to hold, and the 92 area, 92.85 area is going to hold, and from there we can move higher. Now, that's our first position for tomorrow. Our second position, we're going to be moving off into the equity markets. Now, looking at this, we're going to be looking at the E-mini Russell 2000. This is in a very good move here. So let's identify our key levels of pivot support: 700.06, 711.05, 716.38 with a close of